The first thing I heard was her voice, quiet, almost trembling, as if she wasn't sure whether to wake me or let me sleep forever.
You don't remember last night? I got you into bed.
My eyes opened to a room that wasn't mine, to sunlight that felt too soft, and to her standing near the door, arms folded but eyes watching me like she was waiting for a storm. That's when I felt it, cold air, too much of it. I looked down and swallowed hard. Where are my clothes then? And that was when everything inside the room froze. Not from fear, but from whatever truth she wasn't saying yet. Whatever happened last night had changed something between us, and I wasn't ready for the answer. But she began long before last night ever happened. People always say friendship between a man and a woman is simple until something shifts and suddenly nothing is simple anymore. She and I were the proof of that. We'd known each other for years, shared late-night calls, stupid jokes, heartbreaks, and the quiet kind of comfort that grows when both people pretend they don't need it. She called me at midnight, her voice shaky. I didn't ask why, I never needed a reason when she called. But on the drive over, everything started spinning, my head too heavy, my vision blurring. The world swayed, the steering wheel felt like it wasn't mine, and I remember her shouting my name just before everything went dark. When I opened my eyes again, it was her living room. Pillows on the floor. A glass of water. Her jacket thrown over me like a shield. She wasn't panicked, she looked scared in a different way, like she had been awake all night watching over me. And when she spoke, her voice cracked softer than I'd ever heard it. You scared me. You were burning up and shaking. I didn't know what else to do but get you here. She avoided my eyes, but her hands were trembling. Not because of what happened to me. Because of what it meant to her. For the first time, I saw it, how much she truly cared. How much she had been holding back, hiding behind friendship like it was the safest place to stay. And last night? It pushed everything to the edge. When I asked about my clothes, she finally turned toward me fully, and her eyes met mine with a truth she could no longer hide. They were soaked. You collapsed outside in the rain. I had to get you warm, so I changed them. I'm sorry if that makes things weird. Weird? The only thing weird was how calm she tried to act when her voice was shaking like she'd been the one who almost lost someone. She sat beside me, her shoulder barely touching mine, and whispered, I didn't sleep. I didn't want you to stop breathing. And in that moment, something inside me shifted, like a door I'd been afraid to open suddenly cracked with light. Wasn't about last night. It was about everything we were finally forced to face in the morning. I stood up, slowly, still dizzy, still trying to make sense of the way she looked at me with a mixture of relief and fear. She handed me clean clothes, her brother's old shirt and sweatpants, and turned away to give me privacy. When I stepped out, she was sitting on the couch, knees pulled close, hair messy from a night she hadn't slept. She looked up with eyes that begged for honesty. Can we just talk about it? She asked. But she wasn't talking about the clothes. She wasn't talking about me passing out. She was talking about us, everything we pretended wasn't there. She confessed quietly, when you fell, I thought I might lose you. And it made me realize how much you mean to me. More than I've ever told you. She waited for me to laugh it off. To turn away. To ruin the one fragile moment she dared to open. But I sat beside her and told her the truth I had buried even deeper. The only reason I came out last night, even when I felt horrible, was because it was you. I'd show up for you no matter what. Even if I'm barely standing. Her lip trembled, the way it does when she's holding in tears she doesn't want anyone to see. You remember anything else from last night? She asked. I shook my head. She sighed, half relieved, half sad. You held my hand the entire time, she whispered. You wouldn't let go. Even in your sleep. Something warm spread through my chest, slower than fear, stronger than anything I'd felt. I reached for her hand again, not shaking, not unconscious, not accidental, and this time, she held mine back without hesitation. Does this make things complicated? She asked. I smiled. Maybe. But maybe complicated is exactly where we were always supposed to be. She leaned her head gently against my shoulder, and I felt her finally breathe deeply, safely, like she hadn't breathed all night. And as the morning sun filled the room, it felt like the beginning of something we had both been too scared to name. Something we didn't have to run from anymore. The inspiring message left at the end wasn't spoken aloud, but felt.
Sometimes life forces us into moments we never planned, moments that strip us down to truth.
And sometimes the people who stay, who lift you, who fear losing you, are the ones you were meant to choose long before you ever realized it.